Do mediums work for the devil? This topic is as hot as hell. That was a bad joke, sorry. But now I laugh about it. But honestly, I used to cry. I used to cry so much about this because this belief brought so much pain in my heart and so much turmoil, so much doubt in my spirit that I feel like I need to talk about it. That's why I'm making this video. So I want to give a little bit of context before getting into the topic so that you can have an idea of my personal experience and then draw your own conclusions. So when I was little, I used to have things happening to me at nighttime that I didn't really understand. And so, when you do not understand something, you tend to be afraid of that thing. And that's what happened to me. I was terrified of the experiences that I was having and I didn't want to have them. So my mom, poor woman, she didn't know what to do with me. So I closed off to anything that was out of the ordinary or paranormal. Up until, I'm making this story super short, up until 2018 when I had a car accident with a friend of mine, and I believe that we miraculously survived that car accident. It could have gone much worse. And so something shifted in me and I started researching near-death experiences on YouTube and mediums. I found Teresa Caputo and John Edward and others. And I was wondering, is there actually something after we die? But I was not really committed to find the answers to that question or to those questions that were coming to the surface up until a few months later when the same friend that I had an accident with, he unexpectedly crossed. And from that moment, my entire life changed because all the questions that I didn't really know how to find an answer to now became my obsession. I needed to know where he went. I needed to know what happens to us afterwards. I needed to have answers because I realized that life is so fragile. For the first time, it hit me. And the spirit doctrine that entered my life a few months before he crossed. And I didn't want to have anything to do with spirits, so I rejected anything that had to do with the spirit world or with the subject. The spirit doctrine came back into my life and I read the books, Allan Kardec books, the spirits books, the mediums books, and I read Chico Xavier books. And I realized that the more I discovered, the more I explored the topic, the less fearful I was. It makes sense, right? When the unknown becomes known, then fear doesn't have foundations anymore. So fast forwarding, I also started taking courses to develop my intuition. A whole new vocabulary was presented to me, and so many new subjects and topics and ideas and concepts. And it took me a while to integrate all that, to process the fact that what I believed up until that moment, which was death is the end of everything, like after death there is just black abyss, was not the truth, was not the reality. It took me a while, right? I was also a skeptic because I was like, you gotta prove that to me. So I started taking courses because all the mediums that I was finding were saying that we are all mediums. And I was like, maybe you, but not me. I don't have that gift. And they were talking about ability, not a gift. This is an ability, not a gift. And I was like, okay, well, if it's an ability, I can work on it and find out for myself whether or not this is actually an ability and I can do it. And I discovered that it is. So I started participating not only to development courses and self-development courses in which I basically got to know myself, my own emotions, my own thoughts, observe what I think, what I believe, and all that stuff. I also started participating to development circles. So circles on Zoom where people practice on one another. They basically we just were blurting out whatever we were feeling, sensing, hearing, receiving, and then to a person in front of us on Zoom. And then the person would say, yes, that makes sense, or no, that doesn't make sense. But most of the time, at least with me, they were saying yes. And so I was like, you know what? I don't really know if what I'm doing is the right thing. And I need to practice on somebody that is going to tell me, no, this doesn't make sense. If it doesn't make sense, I just feel like mediums are very, we don't want to hurt one another, developing mediums. And so we tend to say yes more than necessary. So I started practicing on normal people, people that didn't have any interest in saying yes if what I was saying, what I was telling them didn't resonate. And I realized that they were also saying yes most of the times. And when they were saying no, I felt like, okay, let me just go deeper here, because there is a reason why I'm seeing this or I'm receiving this information, and together we would understand eventually what was coming through. But still, I was still a skeptic. So I had so many doubts in my mind, and I felt like I was not clear whether to believe in the afterlife or not. Moreover, a friend of mine who is a Jehovah's Witness, and I have friends from all cultural backgrounds, and they belong to all types of religions. I was raised by a mother that was very open. She was a Catholic, but at the same time, she attended. She went to this place where they used to sing Hindu chants and do Reiki and yoga and retreats and teach all this not very well known stuff for the Western world. And also she used to bring me to Buddhist encounters. So, having a Jehovah's Witness friend was to me amazing, because it gave me the chance to understand how they live and what they believe in and stuff. And I had read the Bible before for personal, interest. I wanted to know what that all was about. And she used to tell me that, they don't believe that we keep on living after death, that there is like an eternal sleep type of thing until the second coming of Christ. And the fact that we cannot consult mediums, nor think that we can talk to the spirit of those that have crossed over because they are sleeping. So I was like, so who do mediums talk with? And how come the information that they are bringing through is so accurate? And she was saying with demons. I was like, oh my goodness gracious, with demons. And why would demons give accurate information to the person to bring comfort and love and closure to that person? And she didn't know what to reply to that, right? Like there wasn't a specific answer. She would go around and trying to bypass the answer. To me, it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense that a demon or that the devil would give us opportunity to feel comfort in our heart. It doesn't make sense to me. At least not the idea of devil that I have. Otherwise, the devil would be an angel, right? So, anyways, even if I was rejecting those thoughts that she was trying to put it inside of me, they stayed inside of me, and they created even more doubt and more turmoil, because now I was like, oh my goodness gracious, what if what she's saying is true? What if I'm actually being misled and I am misleading people? I don't want that at all, because I was like, I cannot face God, at some point in my life or when I die. I don't want to go in front of God and say, I am so sorry, I didn't know that I was being misled, or I'm sorry that I didn't please you. I didn't want to be considered a sinner, right? So that was the best and worst time of this journey. It was the worst time because I was crying every single day for like 3 or 4 months straight, and my husband didn't know what to do with me anymore. He didn't know. Poor man, he didn't know. And I was not functional myself, nor for myself, nor to help others, because I was like, I thought that I was helping people, and now I'm thinking that I'm misleading them, and I'm giving them information that is inaccurate and completely false. That was the worst thing to me, because in my heart I wanted to do the right thing. I wanted to help others. I wanted to spread hope and love. And here I was thinking that I had the best intentions at heart and asking. I remember asking even Jesus to help me keep my intentions clear and clean. So I was like, how is it possible that I'm asking Jesus, the Son of God, right, to keep my intentions pure and to help me with this, and I am being misled? So I was not living a very good moment, and I remember that was also the best moment, the best time for me, because it brought me to actually ask God directly for directions and guidance. I was like, God, I cannot listen to anybody else anymore. Like, I can't, because I don't know whether they are saying the truth or not. You need to find a way to reach out to me and to tell me whether I'm supposed to continue doing this or not. Because if I'm not supposed to, I will stop. I don't want to mislead anybody. I don't want to hurt anybody. And if death is actually the end and we actually go to sleep and blah, 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 just tell me. Just let me know. I'm okay with that, okay? But if I have to continue, you also are the one that needs to let me know, because nobody else has the power that you have. So give me experiences, or prepare me for experiences that can show me either one or the other. And I'll follow. I promise that I'll follow. And, they say ask and you shall receive. So this is what happened. What happened is that I started receiving all this crazy, mind-blowing, life-changing experiences that allowed me to understand that what I was doing and what I desired to do is actually God's work. And I still know this because when I say it, I have a certain feeling in me. I feel something in my throat, and I feel that my hair goes up. I have goosebumps when saying this. I know that my intention is to serve God, and when our intention is that, even if we are imperfect, we are still serving the greatest intelligence, the creator of the universe. So there is one specific experience that I'll share, but in another video, because I want to keep this one short. But that experience, oh my goodness, that's why I always say, once we have our personal direct experiences with the spirit world, there is no way back. Like, there is no way for us to ignore or forget or not think about it. It just stays with us. It just stays with us. It's a revelation that changes our existence completely. And that's the only thing that I wish for everybody, to ask directly to the source of all things whether or not this is true. Because I believe that God has tailored experiences for each one of us that are going to be the best evidence that you can possibly desire. It's going to go beyond your imagination. The things that I experienced, I would have never in 1,000 years thought that they were possible. Never. So if I experienced them, it's because I was willing to go to the 4, 5, 6 corners of the universe to discover whether or not this was true. Especially since I myself contemplated death before. I was like, if my life doesn't go the way that I want for it to go, I can always exit. I can always decide to terminate it, to end it at any moment in time, because if God doesn't exist, that's what I believed. Or if death is the end of everything, right, of all my pains and suffering, then why not? I seriously contemplated it, and I'll talk about my journey maybe in other videos, but I needed to know. I was willing to go through hell, like literally, and I feel like I have gone through it in a moment of my life. I was willing to go through hell in order to arrive to God's truth. I was like, well, my faith needs to be bigger than any fear of the devil. So I'm going to go through this knowing that God knows my heart. And this is what I remember telling my friend. God knows my heart. God knows where I'm coming from. God knows what I want to do. Who is a human to tell me anything? I'm going to ask God directly. And that's my suggestion, in case you're going through something similar, or you know of somebody that is going through something similar. No matter what you believe God to be, no matter what your religious background is, God goes beyond any of that. God is bigger than that, right? We use 3 letters to describe or to talk about something that is just infinite, beyond infinite. It's just, we cannot understand it through our human logic. Just ask that source that is everywhere, even within you, at all times, always available. Ask that source to show you the truth, or to prepare you for the truth, because that's what I remember asking as well. If I'm not ready for the truth, just prepare me. Prepare me, because I need to know. I was willing, as I said, to do anything. Anything. That was my obsession, my priority. I couldn't function otherwise. I needed to know. And I discovered that what I was doing was God's work, and that I was supposed to do it. I was supposed to bring hope the way that I was, the way that I am. Again, as imperfect as I am. That doesn't matter. God doesn't see me the way that humans see me, or the way that we see ourselves. God's understanding of who we are is the truth, not what we believe that what we are. So this was what I wanted to share with you. There are mediums that proclaim themselves as mediums. There are charlatans and there are scams everywhere, though, right? In any field. But I believe that you can feel it if somebody is the real deal or not. Because there are people that are truly, genuinely developing as mediums, and in the process, they might not be, again, perfect. We cannot expect perfection from ourselves. We cannot expect to be always spot on and always bring through the best evidence and the best messages all the time. But what matters here is not perfection. What matters here is our heart. So again, I'm not saying that there are mediums or people in general who do not benefit or make money off of somebody's grief and pain. There are plenty of those people. But I also believe that you have your own intuition, and you can know, you know if somebody is the real deal or not, if somebody is trying to scam you and rob your money, or if somebody is genuine. I feel like we can feel one another's heart. So this is what I wanted to share with you. Thank you so much for watching so far, and I'll share that experience. Let me know if you'd like to know my experiences. I want to share one in particular with you that was truly life-changing. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to hear it. All right? Well, you have a glorious day, and I'll talk to you soon.